You're listening to The Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
Week 7 in the NFL wrapped up with Monday Night Football, a doubleheader. The first game was in Tampa, where the Ravens outscored the Buccaneers 41-31. Baltimore was down 10-0 after the first quarter, then scored the next 34 points. Tampa Bay had a late comeback with 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns, but it falls short. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson had a huge game with 5 touchdown passes, 2 to tight end Mark Andrews, and running back Derrick Henry rushed for 169 yards and had a receiving touchdown. Ravens are 5-2 with the win. Buccaneers dropped to 4-3 with the loss. The other game was in Arizona, where the Cardinals got by the Chargers 17-15. Arizona kicker Chad Ryland hit a 32-yard field goal on final play to win it. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray had 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. One included a 44-yard touchdown run. And James Conner had 101 yards rushing for Arizona. Cardinals improved to 3-4 with the win. Chargers dropped to 3-3 with the loss.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to summer and you were playing fullback up there, and I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. If you could pick up, you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to recruit you, and our running back coach didn't think biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care. We have DC of DC Capstone Report joining us to talk Bama, Tennessee, the good, the bad, the ugly. Georgia back on top. The crowd noise is interesting up at Neyland Stadium. And can Bama right the ship and more?
All right. Hey, listen, I wrote a book, DC and X, a little while back, and let me just read the opening excerpt and see if you guys can relate to this. It says, a bad atmosphere is the last thing you need when you're leading a team and to convey a vital message. Not only will people not listen to you, but they will also seek something else to divert their attention away from you. People do not necessarily do this on purpose, but they will do this because they're stuck in a toxic environment that perpetuates this kind of behavior. That is why it's important you create and maintain a positive atmosphere. So my question is, did something happen to distort or change that atmosphere? And I still hadn't got any questions from the Bama fans of, is it possible that the Vandy loss, X, DC, when it happened, it revealed those who bought in for their own benefit, but not the team benefit. And once that environment flipped the script, there's been a culture war between the Saban guys wanting to do it their way and DeBoer trying to get his guys to do it his way. Because if you go back and look at the bonehead plays and the out of character plays and the plays that don't represent Alabama football and the guys who aren't necessarily giving all out effort or meeting the need, it seems to be the older guys, not the younger guys or the new guys. Just saying. And hey, by the way, Bama fans, today is an opportunity to rejoice because this is the day that the Lord has made. So let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. We do have the phone lines open. The Empowerment Strategies and Solutions hotlines are open at 205-342-9904. That's the Empowerment Strategy and Solutions Hotline. And we also have, have the chat box wide open for your comments. And Jared Smith already asking once again, when I was talking about that positive attitude, team player buying in, he's asking the question, what do you think about Sav playing with a broken foot? Is it selfish considering Bray Hubbard played well, or is it being tough? Can you have both? Could it be both and? We'll talk about it right here on your home for Alabama Sports. This is the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care, and we have DC Capstone Report joining us today. X.
All right. Good morning, DC. How you doing?
Oh, doing great, X. How you this morning?
Doing good. So we're going to get to the good, bad, and ugly of the game Saturday. What are your thoughts of the good from Bama?
Well, I thought the defense played good the first half. I thought they had made some adjustments and played with a lot of intensity and did a good job. I thought the turnover margin was good. They got a lot of turnovers. I thought that was good. I just thought the bad part of it was their inconsistency on defense.
Yeah, the good was definitely the defense in the first half of the game. The 3 turnovers, really stunning the Tennessee offense. I mean, you hold a team to 0 points in the first half. You normally win those games, but Tennessee has actually found a way to win back-to-back games where they were shut out in the first half. So that is definitely the good as well. But let's get to the callers before we get deeper into the bad. We've got Pat joining us. How you doing this morning, Pat?
Hey, good morning, guys. DC, I'm glad we got you in today. Yesterday afternoon on the Bearded Wonders show, he had a guy from Football Nerds or something like that, and he dogged Jalen for at least 15 minutes. And Martin's of the opinion that we shouldn't say anything. If we can't say something good, we shouldn't say anything at all. I'm picking on Martin.
Mute Pat so I can talk, Chase. Mute Pat so you can't interrupt me. Don't you dare come on my show and say, I've said you can't say anything negative about Jalen. I said it on my show, and I said it on Ryan's show yesterday. Everybody that was dogging Jalen as he led this team last year, it was wrong. Because the dude did not lose a game, and he did not play bad. We won, and it wasn't on him. This year, Jalen was balling up until a Georgia game. We have changed the offense since then. And I said it over the weekend, and I said it when we opened our show yesterday, that if Jalen is going to play the way he did Saturday and he's not injured, or if we're going to, I don't care if he's injured or not, if we're going to call 45 plays, you need to give Ty a chance. Now, the question I asked, and now you can unmute Pat, is, Pat, why is it, and I'll let DC even address it, why is it, Pat, that they don't do it? I don't get to make that determination. I would have gave Ty at least one series Saturday with the way the game was going. So don't come on my show saying that I say you can't say anything.
Hey, all right, I'm picking on you, Martin Houston. Martin Houston, you pick on me all the time. I'm picking on you too.
That's the advantage of having the board control. I can mute you. You can't mute me.
Hey, you're funny too. Hey, but look, I did feel really bad though for Jalen after that guy talked. Oh, good Lord. I was feeling sorry for the young man. And, but however, if we don't have a come to Jesus session, with him and decide, and for him to make decisions about running the ball when it's time to run the ball, pass the ball when it's time to pass the ball, hey, we're not going to win many more games, and we will not win the LSU game if that does not happen. That is just my opinion. What do you think, DC?
I think we're all on the same page. I mean, if Jalen doesn't play like Jalen played in the first half of the Georgia game for the rest of the season, then we're not, and the offense doesn't go through him like it did in the first half of the Georgia game, then we're not going to have very much success down the road. And the reason I say that, Pat, is we have Jalen's a great quarterback, great athlete, great legs, great arm strength. He can do all the things, but he can't do it the way he's doing it now and expect to succeed. We just can't do that. You're going to have a man.
You can't do it the way he's doing it now. You mean through his ability or through play calling and scheme? What do you mean by that?
Play calling and the scheme. He can't stand in the pocket and not run and throw 45 times and expect us to win a ball game. We're not going to win a ball game with him standing in the pocket throwing 45 times. We just can't. We're not ever going to do that. He didn't. I don't know. They say he's not injured. Okay, if he's not injured, then he's not playing the way he played with his legs and his arm prior to the second half of the Georgia game. What I mean by that is this. Jalen Milroe's athleticism and his arm strength and his leg strength, his speed, all those things give you an advantage in a game, but you got to be able to use all those things. It looked like in the Tennessee game that the defensive spy on Jalen Milroe, he was the one that was most rested during the game because he didn't have to do anything except stand there and watch him stand in the pocket. He had many opportunities to step up and run. There's many opportunities for the coaches to help him by calling running plays. I just think that we're so inconsistent in the way we call this game offensively that we got away from what we do best, and we didn't put him in a great position. He made some bad throws in this game. He made some bad decisions in this game, and so I think it was evident that he was either restrained, injured, or just playing an awful game. One or the other.
All right. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say is that we can win out in this, but some decisions have got to be made.
Yeah, and Pat, you won't find. I said it on Ryan's show, and X, I'll talk to you to close this out. I said on Ryan's show, listen, I'm the last person that's going to call for a quarterback change. I think you can use two quarterbacks first and foremost. People got to tell me why you can't, as much as they get to practice and work together. But another side of that is if we're going to look like this, and this is going to be the way we want to go, you have to give the other guy a chance, unless there's something that we just. Somebody had to tell me why they didn't make a change. When you look at how bad he was throwing the ball early in that game, Pat, but yet we continued to throw the ball 27 times in the first half with the lead, with multiple turnovers. We didn't run him. We didn't run any of that, and we kept throwing it. You have to explain that to me. And like Jared Smith said, if he's not hurt, someone needs to ask DeBoer why he's playing scared.
Yep.
Good job, Mr. Houston. Hey, I'm going to let y'all go with that. Excellent, Mr. Houston. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right, X.
All right, and we'll come back on the other side. We'll continue to break down the good and the bad, the ugly from the Tennessee game and get DC's opinions.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A happy Tuesday morning to you. We're moving right along. Traffic or the roadways are very quiet for the time being. But it is Tuesday, so a lot of times it beefs up on Tuesday. But right now you have no worries inside the construction zone. All is well on Skyland Boulevard.
The Gateway Innovation and Discovery Center from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, go to www.tuscaloosa.com/Tech or Treat.
Dixie Battery Supply takes care of all all of your battery needs. Find the commercial batteries you're after and never feel powerless again. Come check out our Northport and Tuscaloosa locations or call us at 205-758-9190. And once again, power up all your devices by using Dixie Battery Supply, DixieBatterySupply.com. They offer reconditioned.
Offer custom screen printing. Let Eyecatchers print shirts for your next event. 345-7762. Eyecatcher Screen Printing and Gifts, where getting seen becomes an art.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. We've got DC of DC Capstone Report with us. DC, before we get back to the good, bad, and ugly, I just want to address something a listener said, and it says, stop calling Jalen a great QB. He's not. The guy can't read a defense or throw consistently, plus the fact he has absolutely no pocket presence. Nobody was saying this a couple weeks ago, when he completed 80% of his passes against Georgia, when he ran for 100 yards and over 100 yards and threw for almost 400 yards against Georgia. He had the worst game he's had of the entire season. No doubt about that. But a lot of people have gotten real loud that were really quiet before this Tennessee game. And he had a down game against South Carolina, but he was still able to make a lot of plays with his arm and his leg. He was completing, 74% of his passes before Tennessee. So you can't tell me that he can't do it. Either I think he's hurt. There was rumors that he hurt his hand on the second drive of the game. There's rumors that he has a quad injury. Now, we don't know if it's true or not. We don't know if what's going on. But if you saw a video from before the start of the Tennessee game, he was limping. And that if it's a quad and a hand, that affects everything when it comes to taking off running, the burst, his ability to throw the ball with power and precision. They need to be honest if he's hurt or not. But before Saturday, you couldn't say all of these things. So let's not try to say it now off of one game when he's played better throughout the course of the season. DC, get your opinion.
The haters have said it, regardless of what he's done. So because some people are going to call up and say, well, I've been saying it. There's some people that have been saying it even as he took us all the way to the championship. There are people out there that said that he was horrible, couldn't play quarterback. And I told you yesterday, DC, I told you yesterday, and I'll be quick. I said that if you're looking for what's traditional quarterback, then you're not going to see it. We need watch the Baltimore Ravens. If you want to see how Alabama should be running their offense this year, just watch the Baltimore Ravens. It's unstoppable. Now, I'm not saying Jalen Milroe is at the passing level of Lamar Thomas, but the scheme and the play calling and the plan is there to utilize and make you play both. DC, and then we need to get the callers asked.
Well, I just want to say I respect all of your listeners. I respect all of your callers, but to say that Jalen Milroe is not a great quarterback is just not true. I mean, Jalen Milroe is a great quarterback. there's no NFL scout that will tell you they wouldn't take a pick on him for the NFL based on the way he plays, the way Lamar Jackson plays, the way other quarterbacks in the NFL play. Jalen Milroe right now, I think, listed as the third best quarterback in the NCAA. Was one time was the first quarterback to be taken. So it's not that he's not a great quarterback. He is a great quarterback. He's just not playing that way. And here's my theory: they can come out all day long and say he's not injured, and if that's true, I will eat crow here. But I myself have seen him play prior to the Georgia game, first half, and how the team utilized him. Here's my theory on it. This is why I know he's injured or he can't do what he did prior to that. And the reason that is this: we killed Georgia in the first half running him, Jalen Milroe, wide. Running him wide. Why? Because Jalen Milroe is the fastest guy on the field. There's no spy, no linebacker, no safety that can spy him and beat him all the way out on the wide side of the field because of his speed. He cannot do that right now. They won't call that right now because he doesn't have the power, the explosiveness, the quickness, or the speed to get to the edge. And so that tells me he's injured. Either they're doing it because, hey, we don't want to do that anymore, or he's injured and he can't do it. And so, let's be honest. Let's be honest with it. He's either injured or they're calling it in a way that they don't want to capitalize on his greatest strength. And to me, that would be dumb.
And I'll say this, is 57 yards is what Jalen has rushing the last few games. 57 yards. But yet people are still saying he should just move the running back. You're not even watching the game if you think Jalen Milroe is still running the ball a lot. I mean,
he's not.
He's not. They're not calling runs to him. And so, and people say, well, that's net with the sacks. Well, so are the 271 he had the 3 games before that was minus sacks as well. There haven't been a lot of call runs, which tells me. But like I said, here's what all of the people who hate Jalen or who just like me, I said, man, watching that game, you have to give the other guy a chance. Now, I said that. Why didn't they? That's the part I don't. Let's go to the Empowerment Strategy and Solutions Hotline. J-Rob, you're in. What's on your mind, sir?
Good morning, fellas. I hope everybody's doing well today. Normally, Martin, you make me feel better on Mondays when we have a game like this, but you didn't really make me feel better. But you did open my eyes to some things that I wasn't thinking about, and you're right. I mean, why can't we give the Ty a chance if Jalen's struggling? Why can't we? There is a reason. I don't know why the reason he's playing like this, because he wasn't playing like this. I just don't know some of the play calling. Also, why are we throwing the ball at 1st and 5 down there in the field? I mean, we should be running. We got 2 of the best running backs in the conference, and we're not using them. So that's not on Jalen. But, he did throw the pass. Let's just say that, okay? All right, everybody has struggles. But, I don't see why that we can't start Jalen. And then if he struggles, put Ty Simpson in, give him a shot. I mean, for a series or 2 maybe. Put Jalen back in. We can have 2 quarterbacks. And for Martin to say that, there's something that something bad must be going on if Martin says to play another quarterback. I mean, because we've never said that ever. And I can attest to that. So, one thing he did say yesterday that really opened my eyes up, this discipline problem and all the penalties and everything didn't start just this year. It didn't start with Kalen DeBoer. I mean, look at Jermaine Burton last year. I mean, every time he caught a pass, he'd try to fight somebody. I mean, he got penalized last year, so it didn't start this year with Kalen DeBoer, so we just need to stop all that. I just think it's a product of the times. I think that, you have to put up with some of that stuff to keep players on your team. That's just the way it is. So what do you guys think about that?
DC?
Well, I go a little different way, J-Rob. On your first thing about Jalen Milroe and about running the ball, I think that just goes along with what I just said. When Jalen Milroe's on the 5-yard line, his first down, and you don't run him wide to the corner where he has scored every time you've done that before when he's healthy, then there's something wrong there. He can beat that guy to the corner. If you don't even try that one time, there's something wrong. So that leaves credence to what I've been saying about that. I agree with you. Why in the world would you throw the ball when you got that many runners? And you can, I don't care how good the run defense is. If it was a 1992 Alabama defense, it was best in the conference, I'd still run the ball there because I think you can get 3 or 4 yards in the end zone. But that I don't think you do if he's not healthy. To your second point, I think it goes a little deeper than that. I agree with what Martin said going on the show. If you look at the ones that are making the mistakes, they're making the dumb penalties, making undisciplined plays, they're the leaders. They're the older guys. These are the saving guys, same ones that were having problems last year. So there's a core problem, and those core problems come up when you have adversity. Adversity that will bring those core problems to the surface. So now you have a fighting of cultures here against one another, and I think that's what's happened. The Vanderbilt game has revealed the culture. It's definitely revealed the Fairweather fans, the Alabama fans that were all on the bandwagon prior to it. It's also going to reveal the same kind of adversity will reveal what kind of culture you have on the team. I think that's the problem, J-Rob. You've hit it on the head. There is a problem there, and I think that's the problem.
One more thing before I go. I wanted to make a comment about our basketball team. Went up, had a great start. It was an exhibition game against Wake Forest, but we did blow them out. I'm looking forward to basketball season and football season to see what happens at the end of our football season. But basketball season is looming, and we need to get excited about it. Y'all have a good day.
I agree 100%. And we did that without 4 players that's going to really contribute to the team. If we were that good on the first game this year, I'd look forward to the ceiling for this team is real high.
100%. We have Alan joining us on the hotline this morning. How you doing, Alan?
Good morning. Let's call it where it is. We got some Fairweather fans out there, and y'all, Martin, you won't want to say it, but I will say it. Y'all know why they don't like Milroe. They were just waiting for something to happen. They were sitting back and just sitting on their hands, waiting for something for Milroe to happen. You know why, and I ain't got to say where it is. Y'all know why it is.
Alan, actually, you probably didn't get to hear yesterday because Kennington asked me the question, and I gave the following answer. I said there's multiple reasons why people call for Ty over Jalen. First of all, the second team quarterbacks are always better, right? I mean, that's just part of it. Number two is I talked about just kind of the way things have played out. I mean, like Saturday, it finally played out that Jalen didn't have a good game. And then 3 was that people want to see traditional quarterback play at Alabama. They want to see us run the same offense we did when Mac Jones was here and that type of quarterback. We want to see a pass first strength quarterback. Okay. Because people didn't complain about Bryce Young and he was black, right? So it's not all people because of his race. Then I said, the fourth thing I said, there are some people who are racist and that's the people who, no matter what Jalen did all of last year,
exactly,
his team is always so there's a bunch of different people out there because I don't want to put everybody that's complaining against Jalen into that category because they're not all in that category. Some, if you're complaining about Saturday, all legit. I mean, now I may look at it and see there may be other reasons other than just his ability to play the position. But if you've watched like if you watch the Georgia game and you see that game and you still can't give this dude credit for being a good quarterback, now that means that either you have what? You just don't want to see a dual threat guy. That if you can't say that Jalen's a good quarterback. And that's what I'm saying is it's one of those 4 things for the most part. And those who fall in that category, I don't like giving them time, Alan. That's why a lot of times you say it without saying it because I don't want to air the stupidity that we're still in that place in our nation. So, but there's other legit reasons. I mean, there's some people who I don't like pocket passers. the reason I don't like Carson Beck as much as some other people do is because I think if Georgia had a dual threat quarterback that could throw the ball as well, nobody would beat Georgia.
That's true. I agree.
I mean,
Martin, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Now, as far as, also when we got more receivers than Williams out there, we targeted him, 20 times, not 10 or 20 times? Come on now. You looking at, you can throw the ball to more than him. Also, how many times do we even go deep? That lets me know that something is going on besides, that's where he thrives at, is throwing the ball deep. And that lets me know right there that something else is going on besides, him not wanting to run the ball. I honestly believe he is hurt. And for some reason, either he's hurt and Ty Simpson just can't do it, if that's the case, we're in trouble. Because if our backup can't do it, we're in trouble. Because evidently, if we didn't put him in, there's something else going on that we don't know about. And if that's the case, we're going to be in trouble the rest of the year.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll be healthy, and we'll find out Saturday. I think Saturday. Take it. I mean, Allie, you bring up a great point.
And one more thing before I go. One more thing I want to say. Dallas is kicking herself right now. Derrick Henry lives there in the off season, and you didn't get him. And you see what Derrick Henry been doing. Jimmy Jones, you through. You done.
And that's the one thing Dallas can't do is run the ball, and they did not get Derrick Henry.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all have a good one.
All right. X, take it.
All right. That's the end of the first half of the Martin Houston Show. We come back, we'll continue the conversation about the Tennessee game and ways Alabama can right the ship. We'll be back on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A happy Tuesday morning to you. We're moving right along. Traffic or the roadways are very quiet for the time being, but it is Tuesday, so a lot of times it beefs up on Tuesday. But right now you have no worries inside the construction zone. All is well on Skyland.
Let's take control of our future. Vote Republican. Paid for by the Tuscaloosa County Republican Party. P.O. Box 2643, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35403.
Taco Casa, quality, taste, and value under the biggest cactus in town. They've been doing it the right way each and every day for 50 years and counting. If you're looking for a great option for lunch and or dinner, then you need to check out Taco Casa. Taco Casa, and while you're there, don't forget to get a big glass of that sweet tea.
Shipping, Dell Rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment...
And these changes within just a couple of days.
Text support to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A sunny sky today with a warm afternoon, the high 81. Clear tonight, the low 53. Tomorrow, sunny with a high at 82. Then very warm on Thursday and Friday. The sky sunny both days. Highs between 83 and 86. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 46 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports, Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. We have DC, a DC Capstone report. DC, to continue the good, bad, ugly conversation, what was the bad that you saw? I know you mentioned the defense a little bit, but go more in depth with that.
Well, I think it was inconsistent play with the entire team. When defensive gets inconsistent because they couldn't maintain it throughout the whole game. But I give defense good credit for what they did in the first half. The inconsistent play calling, I think, was a bad. I think the inconsistent play by Jalen Milroe was bad. And I still go back to this. Either the play calling, they have regressed in play calling, or there's something wrong with Jalen Milroe physically. And I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm not saying that based on I don't have any inside information, but I think you can look at the empirical evidence, and you don't need inside information. For example, you're calling pass plays when you're 3 yards from the end zone, and every other time he's ran and got to the pylon before the other team could get there because of his speed. That didn't happen, so you're not calling that play. He's not running any wide there like he did against Georgia. They're not calling that play. And then, if one thing you can think about is every pass that he was off high or late, and that tells me there's something wrong with the plant push-off foot. And they didn't call not one single slant in this game. And in order to call a slant, you have to have great release. And when you release on a slant play, it's got to be perfectly positioned. And you got to do it off your foot. You got to be able to plant and throw. And that didn't get called. That lets me believe that there's something wrong with him. And so I think the bad part of it is the coaching decision is to either play a player hurt that's not fully 100% that can win you the game when you got a backup if you think he's capable, or either our backup's not capable. Something's wrong. It's just inconsistent in what we're getting. And then finally, I thought the undisciplined play was probably bad. Undisciplined, not be able to control yourself, control your emotions, or not be able to concentrate and focus on what's going on in front of you in order to make the right play, the right call.
Yeah, and I could jump in here really quick, and I'll address it, X, if it's okay. Bam Bam 72. Think coming in off of DC saying the defense played back great in the first half, not so good in the second half. He said, coming into Tennessee game, I agree about the defense, but they got 3 turnovers, held Tennessee scoreless most of the first half, actually the entire first half. The offense did not take advantage of those turnovers. I agree. That's exactly, they didn't. But the bad part is we gave up 28 points in the second half. Now, all of the Bama fans for 3 games have been crying, run the running backs more, go to the huddle, take time off the clock, don't be in rhythm, and all of that. Well, we did that this game, and we produced 17 points. Okay? So there is something to the way you run your offense. Play calling, utilization of talent, and the speed and flow in which you run your offense. It's hard to be something that you're not. And we've tried to be something we're not offensively the last few games. Now, here's my problem with this coaching staff, and this is what I say bad when I say problem with the coaching staff. This is what I would like to see change about this coaching staff. I would like to see our defensive coach go against what his norm is, DC. His norm is not to blitz. We blitzed in the first half, and what happened? It looked just like the Georgia game. We got 3 turnovers. Okay? We have a quarterback who can run the ball, and the offense runs through him. And here's the thing. Ironically, I think Ty's athletic enough that he could create chaos with just his running ability. I don't know why, but if that's, I hear people going, well, this is not Kalen DeBoer's offense. Well, what I've always heard about Kalen DeBoer is he can cater his offense to fit his talent, right? So I guess the question I have for you, DC, and X is this. Is Sheridan offensively, have we regressed offensively, and are we missing Grubb more than we realize in key situations? I don't know.
Well, I definitely think that the play calling on offense has been suspect the last couple of games, but I don't know how much of that is because he didn't think he can call the plays he wants to call because Jalen's not 100%. I don't know. It's either one or the other. Either Jalen's perfect and healthy, and the play calling has gotten suspect, or either Jalen is injured and he's having to call it that way, or it could be a little bit of both at this time of the year. DeBoer didn't say he wasn't injured yesterday. That's what everybody says. Well, he said he wasn't injured. Well, no, he didn't. He said there's everybody that plays a lot's injured this time of year, but not injured to the point that he can't go out there and give us a chance to win the game. Those are his exact words. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, and X, respond to this. Shut out a team in the first half, give up 24 in the second half. Does this once again highlight the fact that we make no adjustments at halftime?
Yes.
I think it does. We've seen it time and time again where teams come out in the second half and offensively they start taking advantage of our defense. And it's happened 4 games in a row where you think, you go back to the Georgia game, it was 30-7 at halftime. Why? Now, granted, they went for 4th down a lot and all that stuff, but we stopped pressuring Beck, and he had time to step back and throw, and he threw for 300 yards in the second half. Vandy was able to continue to do the same thing in the second half. South Carolina comes out after being 0 for 6 in the first half on 3rd down. They go 5 for 5 on their first drive, go down the field and score. Tennessee started hitting big plays in the second half off rip. So, it's something there. If there are adjustments, it's not the correct adjustments.
I believe this. I believe this, and I think this is something I say. I've said this to you, Martin, and you've heard me say it off the air. And I hate to put this moniker on a team, but this team and this coaching staff, in my opinion, at times in this game, in the Georgia game, in the South Carolina game, what they did was they were playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And when you do that, you set yourself up for loss to be taken advantage of. And that's exactly what the defense has done. That's exactly what the offense has done. And I don't know where that comes from. It's definitely not the Bama standard, but that's exactly what has happened, I think. We're playing. Sometimes we look like we're playing like not to lose instead of playing to win.
DC, are we the worst gadget team in America? I've never seen a team have momentum busted by their own play calling. Every time we run any type of cutesy trick play, we lose yards. I mean, we against Tennessee, we were driving and we did the fake reverse, run around, screen, throw. I don't know what it was, but it's like we just, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. But as bad as it is,
I can tell you this: if we play like we did against Tennessee, the full game against Missouri, we can get beat at home on homecoming if we're not careful. I don't think we will, but I think if we play that way, we could. This Missouri team is just good enough to beat us at home. If we play, not to win, if we play not to lose instead of playing to win, we have a chance to lose in the homecoming game.
Hey, X, we just better hope we don't send a quarterback to the hospital.
Right. We don't want him coming back and beating us in the fourth quarter after he gets out of the hospital.
Hey, listen, when you're down like we are, you have to take shots at your opponents. Hey, DC.
Well, I said yesterday on my podcast, it could be worse. We could be Florida State fans.
That's true.
Or we could have Florida State's head coach.
Yeah, could have been worse, folks.
Hey, DC, we said we'd be 10-2. We said we'd have a 10-2 record, and we thought we'd be 5-2 after this. We just thought it'd be Georgia and Vanderbilt. I think the problem is that we don't know if we can finish. We would feel much better if we had lost to Georgia and to Tennessee versus Vandy and Tennessee. Can this team right the ship? Get your thoughts on the other side, DC, in terms of the noise. Is it Chris Stewart? Is it true what he said? If it's not true, can noise being piped in affect the game? So how does noise affect the game? We'll answer that on the other side.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up starting at 2 p.m., we're going to take your scores for Alabama and the Missouri Tigers. We're going to move past a little bit of Tennessee. Still some things we're going to clean up with that. We'll talk to Mike Detillier, and we'll take your scores on a Southern Now House score prediction day starting at 2 on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program in Tuscaloosa. The Game with Ryan Fowler. Weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Only brief delays for your Tuesday morning commute. Very lightly traveled. And if you're moving inside the construction zones, McFarland, both east and westbound between Jack Warner Parkway and Lurleen Wallace, you got that long-term road construction with some lane closures, so just watch out for the details.
The 5 for $5 wing deal. Checkers with 2 locations, 15th Street in Tuscaloosa and McFarland Boulevard in Northport, open late.
Houston Hydrosteam. That's Houston Hydrosteam. Quality work you can stand on. Whether you're looking for carpet and upholstery cleaning, oriental rug cleaning, residential or commercial water damage, and a whole lot more, you need to call Houston Hydrosteam at 205-553-9460.
Repair and the future repairs. No overtime charges on weekends and holidays. No hassle guarantee. Adams Heating and Cooling. 205-872-0045.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show. The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. On your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. We're live locally and got things rolling right here in your home for Alabama sports. Thanks for all of your support and ask and encourage you to support all of those who support us and make it possible. All of our sponsors that you get to hear about here on the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. It is the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care X.
All right, as we get ready to wrap up this fourth quarter of the Martin Houston Show, the Harvest 2-minute warning. DC, there is rumors, and it comes from Chris Stewart, who said they're piping in noise to Neyland Stadium. Do you think there's any truth to that?
Well, I think Tennessee's come out and said no. Their officials say no, but I think it's obvious that they do pipe in noise at Neyland Stadium. I don't think it's the first time. I think if you watch a broadcast on the same network, like we had back-to-back ABC doing the Alabama Tennessee game, then ABC doing the Texas Georgia game, you can tell on the broadcast that there is a background noise at in Tennessee Stadium. It's completely different than I've been to Texas A&M Stadium. It's completely, they have a great loud noise there, but they don't pipe in noise, and you can tell the difference when the microphones that are there for the game pick it up on the television broadcast. So it's pretty easy. I'm sure Chris has heard it because he's there in the stadium, and I would think that it's done by some people who it's not been directed to be done, but it's always been done that way. And I think Martin's played there. I mean, he can tell you if he believes that or not. But I think it's been done for a long period of time, and it's well known, and no one's ever done anything about it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The noise is I can't say that they did or didn't, but it was extremely loud on the television. And some people say, well, it shouldn't be that big a deal. It doesn't matter. Well, it actually does. That's what leads to a lot of the procedure penalties, and we had 4 of them. It forced us into the huddle, which also hurts. If you're a team that likes to go from the line of scrimmage and like to go with a flow and give your quarterback more time to read the defense and what they're in and what the personnel is, and you're in a huddle, he didn't get that time during the play call. And then it impacts the ability to actually change the play at the line of scrimmage and get everybody on the same page. So there was times that plays were changed. We didn't get a penalty, but not all 11 guys necessarily ran the same play. Because it didn't get communicated correctly. And that's what, if you go back to 1989, Auburn didn't pipe in noise. It was just the first time it was ever there. That totally changed the game. Every time we went to the line of scrimmage, DC, we had a run and a pass called. And we could not change. It was time Gary turned around a few plays that I played in that game. I couldn't hear anything. It's like he was just moving his lips. And so I couldn't communicate it to Rand. So it does impact the game. So, I think that we should have played better, and it was really loud and all that stuff. I want to address something to make sure that Lloyd Gray, he said, why is it when Milroe is criticized, it's because he's black? Heck, I'm black. Terrible interception throw on 2nd and goal at the 3. Come on, man. Great, smart quarterbacks don't do that. Well, I agree they don't do it on purpose, but it happens all the time. I watched the Buccaneers throw an interception to Marlon Humphrey last night in the end zone. So also great offensive coordinator. Let me finish and I'll let you go. Great quarterback have coordinators that use their skill set that's been unstoppable, and we didn't do it. But here's, Lloyd, let me tell you, the people I'm addressing are the ones that when Milroe plays great, they still say the same thing. That's the people I'm talking about just see his race. Alabama has had a non-white quarterback since Jalen Hurts, with every year, with the exception of Mac Jones. So it's obvious that Alabama fans can deal with a non-white quarterback. So that's not the point. I'm just talking about the people that no matter what he does, they're going to have the same comments. He took us to one game outside of a championship game, and all they could talk about was what he did on the last play when it was a bad snap and a horrible play call. So.
Yeah. And once again, it's not just that. That's not the point. You talk about great quarterbacks don't make mistakes. I just watched Georgia win a game where Carson Beck threw three interceptions and 0 touchdowns. And Quinn Ewers throw 2 interceptions, and I didn't hear anybody start to rip them to shreds for being horrible quarterbacks or not great quarterbacks because they had a horrible game. Yes, Georgia won that. One team had to win that game, and it was Carson Beck who threw 3 interceptions. Carson Beck, against the best 2 teams he's played this year, has 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Nobody's not calling him a great quarterback.
DC, wrap it up, man.
I agree with that 100%. It's just the perception that people have of Jalen, and they are not going to change it because it's just their biases and that sort of thing. I'm not talking about the ones that are criticizing for bad play. I criticize him for bad play.
Yes.
I mean, we all do that. I'm talking about the ones that don't care what he does, no matter what he does, and love to jump on him when he's down. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. So, hey, great insight, X, on the Beck and Ewers thing and our perception. And so, Lloyd, I appreciate you bringing that point up. I appreciate all of our callers and viewers for having different opinions, man. That's what this is about. None of us really know what's going on. Absolutely. And I'm calling on the coaching staff to unite this team, to get them all playing better. Let's see. Why is it that I think it's Alabama hate and Jalen happens to be the focal point of that a lot of times, but when it's our internal base, why is it that our head coach hasn't made the move? Will he make the move? We'll keep talking about it. Can Bama right the ship against Missouri? They'll be in town this weekend. Will you? We'll talk about it right here on the Martin Houston Show. That's DC Capstone Report. He'll be breaking it down with us next Tuesday, hopefully after a win. DC, you got to score real quick so I can get out of here.
Yeah, Alabama 34, Missouri 24.
All right. Trust in the Lord always. Lean not in your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide, everybody, and we'll catch you on tomorrow.